Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
And this is Kiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That?
See that?
See that? You see that?
I see that all day, all night. And we like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool because
smart is the new
gangsta.
Baby.
And if you don't know,
I think now you know.
I think you do know. I think you know.
Hey man, big shots out to none of our jam.
Cara
Festa Radio.
What's good?
I'm about to make a song. Cara Festa Radio.
That's it? That's the song?
No, I didn't. Come on.
I got you. No,
so this is the thing is like you like really went country. And
no, I was finna with Bobby McFerrin.
Okay. Oh, that's what that was. That
Cara
was
Festa Radio.
That's like the don't worry, be happy.
You know he been hanging out.
Okay.
So, what you mean?
Okay.
He been hanging out.
Okay.
What you mean?
Okay.
He went to the concert.
I was hanging out.
Okay.
I accept that.
Where you been, man? Been around the world?
I've been around the world and yeah.
You went to tell him.
Yes, I went to Sting.
We went to what?
Sting.
The rock and roll group?
Yeah. No, he's like an artist.
No, I just remember Sting like the rock and roll group from back in the day.
Yeah, he had a group. He was with the orchestra. He was with the Florida Orchestra this time.
Okay.
But yeah, that's Sting.
Where?
Same
Sting? Okay.
Same thing.
Where at?
Happy Theater.
Okay, that's what's up, man.
Up close and personal with the it was a bucket list item, honestly.
To see Sting.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
If you don't know, I'm glad we talking.
It's what's on your mind Wednesday, y'all.
So a lot of people don't know one of the things that I was saying about it, a lot of his music has been sampled and used throughout hip hop.
That's true.
And to sit and like, oh man, I didn't know where that came from. Oh, okay. and I'm discovering the music as he plays it live, as the orchestra plays it live. Right. And I already know the music. I know the song, but I didn't know it from him.
I hear that.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
and I'm like, I didn't know that hip hop had sampled so many of his songs.
I hear that.
You know what I mean? I knew by, I'll Be Missing You and all them songs. Mm-hmm. You knew about the big ones, but there's other ones where it was just like, wow.
Wow, that's thing
it
too.
Was. Yep.
Okay. So you've been hanging out, man. Going to Sting concerts and stuff.
And banging.
Mm-hmm.
Q, what's good with you?
It's Wednesday, right?
What's on your mind?
What's on your mind? Yesterday was Taco Tuesday.
Okay.
No, I was supposed to go to the Taco Tuesday, man.
Is every Tuesday Taco Tuesday?
Every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. Wherever you want to be.
Wherever you want it to be.
It's
you know what? And I had tacos.
Did you make them?
My wife made them.
So last week I made tacos.
I don't know if she connected the dots though. I think.
Man, get out of here.
No. We had tacos Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, back to back. Back to back.
Hey man, she put so Monday was the tacos, and then Tuesday was like add a little more meat and make a little more.
I was gonna say big shots out to the turkey wing tacos and ham hock tacos, the turkey neck tacos. I just want to say big shots out to them.
So like yesterday I made steak quesadillas though.
Look, you going all fancy on us and stuff.
No, what happened is the night before I made pepper steak.
If Roof Crest made tacos, those would be those tacos.
But pepper steak.
So pepper steak on Monday, right? Okay. And I had some steak left.
Okay.
So I was like, I need to use it. So, you got to be a little creative.
Yeah.
Because last Taco Tuesday, I actually made regular tacos.
So you do it?
Not really. It's just, an easy meal.
Nah.
Okay. I got that. My daughter wanted tacos. So we had tacos Monday and Taco Tuesday. Mm-hmm. How about that? It worked out, y'all.
Taco Tuesday.
All right. So y'all.
What about you?
Oh man, just nonstop, man. I'm tired.
I think that is the name of it.
Tired.
Yeah, I think that's really like the name of the game because I really feel like I can probably sleep for a whole week and be all right.
Yeah, I'll tell you, some of the work is real heavy right now. Some of it is really
and thank
heavy.
You for the work that you're doing. That's heavy because a lot of times, it's a thankless job.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you publicly right here.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. Some of it, a lot of it is just feels really heavy right now. And
it's
so,
supposed to be. It's supposed to be.
You know what I mean? But we pushing through. We're gonna make it happen. So Yeah, just like
get a spotter. Get a spotter. Spot that way.
Reset. There you go.
Get a spotter.
Yeah.
So
get a workout partner.
So I'm looking for a spotter, y'all.
Get a workout partner.
D7speaks.com. Take that survey if you want to be a spotter.
That's
man.
right. Take some of the weight off.
Yeah, because we need to spread it around, man. There's so much, drama in the LBC.
D7 Speak. If you want to help lift the heavy weight.
But somehow, some way, keep coming up with
like every single day.
We do.
May. Yeah.
Some fun.
And as I breathe.
No, man, we not rapping on What's on Your Mind Wednesday.
Why is What's on Your Mind Wednesday?
I guess rapping and singing is on our mind.
Yeah.
Internalized oppression is on my mind.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Internalized oppression.
How you get from there to there? I guess shucking and jiving.
I
guess shucking and jiving no form of
just what's on your mind.
So let's talk about it.
So is when people who have historically been oppressed become some of the most oppressive. People who are
the most oppressed.
Yeah, people who are historically oppressed can be some of the most oppressive.
You know what happened is it's like the abused become the abuser.
Yes.
And you see this a lot of times, and when you try, if you're not conscious or try to go the opposite way, you end up doing the same thing, but you think that you're not in a different kind of version.
But what about when you reward it for the behavior?
Yeah.
What if when you get social rewards or financial accolades or you get awards or whatever for your oppressor, what they exalt you for being oppressive.
Yeah. I mean,
and then now people want to be like you.
That's a part of the phenomenon, right? When it does become internalized.
Good morning, Yoke.
So let me start with this. The phenomenon that we describe and is referred to as internalized oppression or internalized racism. It occurs when individuals who have been marginalized or oppressed internalize the negative stereotypes, attitudes, and behaviors of the dominant group, leading them to adopt these beliefs and perpetuate them, often to their own detriment. This can manifest in various ways, such as individuals internalizing feelings of inferiority or self-hatred, enforcing oppressive systems onto others within their community, or exhibiting behaviors that align with the oppressive group's norms and values. I'll stop there because it's a little bit more.
You know what? When you look at it too, when people overcome things, and then sometimes, not all, because we don't subscribe to all, they look down on other people who haven't overcome those same things as well.
That is a thing.
I thank you for that.
Yeah,
they do.
I did it. Look what happened to me. I pulled myself up out of it. I ain't have to do that.
Yeah. And you know what? And
they get celebrated.
And then we get a group of us together, and like we all get together and say, "Oh well, we pulled ourselves up out of it."
I can say,
what's wrong with them?
You know what, and I can say that I'm guilty of one of those people sometimes. Not that I look down on anybody,
but I hear you because I did it.
Because I be like, okay, but I do understand there's obstacles for other people,
right?
But I'm like, listen, like.
If I can do it,
you can do it.
If I can do it, you can do it
too.
If
they can do it, you can do it. But sometimes people can't. Unfortunately, you think that they can.
I want to thank you for taking ownership and accountability for saying that, right? Because we kind of all got that. You know what I'm saying? And what we do that. And what we got to do and because I do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't do it like blatantly, but mentally it's something like, well, what you tripping for?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But people got obstacles in their way that all us can't see.
Yeah,
I can't see the stumbling blocks that you got in front of you. You know, I can try to help you. I can say whatever I want to say.
Right.
But you got to conquer those obstacles.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And that's the whole thing with like this internalized oppression, right? When it says internalizing feelings of inferiority or feelings of self-hatred, like, so those are different types of manifestations. So you have the I'm less than or I'm not as good as complex, is one part of it. The self-hatred is another part of it. So I don't like me, so I don't like nobody that look like me. So that's when we start having conversations about how, what they call it, fratricidal violence, right? Where you will shoot your brother, but you won't shoot, or kill somebody who's really,
your real enemy.
Your real enemy.
Like I step on your shoe and then you ready to kill me, but somebody literally stab your brother.
Yeah.
And you turn the other cheek and be like,
yeah. That's another way that it manifests. But then this other part about enforcing oppressive systems onto others, because what happens with this internalized oppression, and we see it a lot too, like you said, sometimes once you are able to code switch, right? Mm-hmm. You're able to navigate in certain spaces, mm-hmm. and you're rewarded in those spaces
for being able to switch.
For being able to switch. Now you look at people who are not able to switch as well as you, or perform, in those spaces as well as you, as though they're not intelligent, though they're not competent, when they may be very intelligent, they may be extremely competent, but they just have, they just can't code switch. You know what I'm saying?
And some of them don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I run into that problem all the time.
Yeah.
Because I think in slang. You know what I'm saying? But I got a huge vocabulary.
I think in slang.
Yeah, I think in slang.
Yeah.
But I got a whole vocabulary.
Yeah,
I mean, I done read the sources.
Yeah.
Read them. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know what I'm saying in the words I use, but
right.
I don't want to get in front of the mayor or the governor and perform. I'm gonna show them respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna be respectful. That's how my mama and my daddy raised me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I really want you to feel me as I am. So when you meet another Jabbar, you look at him different.
That's always been my thing too, right? Because you can perform and be in that space, but everybody who can't, right?
They stuck.
And there's this perception, and we talk about it a lot. We used to a lot of really bring it up about how when we first started organizing and working together, they would want me to come to different spaces and different meetings, and I would ask Jabbar to go instead, and he,
the B-52 fake guy,
and he was, I mean, because he's just brilliant, and I think he was the right person.
Yeah, that's what he tell me. Yeah, man, this one for you.
This
you,
one.
Yeah, for I think you, this one you need to go to. And this how you get me. They don't know. I'm hyped up when I walk in.
Yeah,
Donna said this is me for me.
Excited and ready to be there. But then when you walk in, they like, who are you? And like, how did you get in here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there's so many other people like that. I remember it's a clip I got. They asked me to do a interview on news about housing. And I asked Jabbar to go.
Yeah, he was like,
and he went, he had like the stocking cap on his head. But he was like on point with his message. But when you look at the screenshot, you be like, what is this?
What is he up there telling them?
It look like them clips of people on the news where you be like, why they pick that person?
Yeah, Florida man.
It's like, why you pick this person to be the one that you interview, right?
Good morning, Mama Blue.
That's if you just look at the picture.
Yeah.
But once you press play and you listen to what he's saying,
I was dropping.
He was like really dropping it and giving it.
I gave the reporter was like, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, when it was done, he was like, wow.
Yeah,
but
they thought they had one of them. Oh, how do we get him up there? What did the president do? Right?
No. But even though you think sling, you can code. You know how to code switch.
Yeah.
But
and there's nothing wrong with it, because when you're trying,
I ain't good as you.
It's
you mean. Let her finish that. Mr. Edmonds knows how to code switch.
He does know how to code, but it's about relaying your message.
Okay, I hear that.
Right, and we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
If you're in a room full of French people,
you need somebody to translate what you're saying if you don't know how to speak
French.
You
need to learn to speak
right.
French. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. That's
so,
deep.
like, if you're talking slang to people who don't understand slang, your message is not going to be delivered.
I hear that.
So, and
you so right.
So this is why code switching is not bad, because it's about delivering
and knowing your audience,
and then knowing your audience. So then when I'm in the hood,
and it's
keep going.
You know,
that's good.
Good. So when you think about it, there is levels to it, but but when you're in the hood and you want somebody to receive you in the hood, and because you see somebody who they say talk proper, or whatever, and go to the hood, they be like, joke. But if you go and talk your slang,
because it's like when you
they fit right in when
right.
Like the way you talk when you with your family and the people you grew up with. Like I went back to Leesburg, with my mom, and the way we talk with our people, man, and how we talk when we and you're right though, like
even us, like when we're not. So let's call a spade a spade. When we're not on air, or we just have our lingo kind of changed too. We got a whole different kind. We're more relaxed. You know.
That's true. We can't just say anything on radio.
That's true. Yeah.
Got a code switch. We code switching for the radio, but code switching itself ain't bad. It's like the abundance of it. Looking down, code switching, and all the whole shebang.
But go ahead.
I think the problem with it becomes when you start evaluating and judging people's intelligence based upon their ability or lack thereof to code switch. So just because I come in and I'm not using proper English or proper grammar
or conforming
to the idea of this, like that does not mean that I'm less intelligent. That's the point that I'm after. Yes. And sometimes those who are proficient in code switching, they look at and they judge those who don't code switch.
It's a little intricate.
It's like, okay, well, yeah, I get what you're saying, but how you said it, like,
you want me to tell you this? I've seen people who code switch that is dumb as a bag of rocks.
That's true.
No.
I've seen that too.
Dumb as a bag of rocks.
Their only strength is their ability to code switch.
That's a superpower.
And really not a superpower.
No, they say, what's your superpower? Code switching.
But what happens is those people are on a script.
Yeah.
And so they only know this. If you go beyond what they normally say, you'll see there's no depth in it. They cannot elaborate beyond what they normally say because that's all they have.
Right.
I think
there's no depth.
And we don't subscribe to all.
No, never. I think when we talking about like internalized oppression, with code switching and conforming, I think that, like I say, a lot of times people are rewarded for their ability to code switch or conform. You get them, and that's who get the pat on the back.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. It's just like it get basic as training your dog.
But they get
good dog.
They get rewarded.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get a treat. Sometimes you just get a pat on the back. Sometimes you get rubbed. Yep. Now you know when to come in, to wag your tail a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then but I'm like the pit bull that just barking at you.
But you know what? The reward comes too when they turn their back on their people.
Dog. Say it again.
They see that they get rewards when they turn their back on their people.
And that's unfortunate.
And it is. So, and you see that.
Highly rewarded.
Right. Yeah. Or they think it's highly rewarded, but because you don't know, you're getting peanuts instead of getting the whole bag.
Yeah. And then the other part of this internalized oppression, when you operating in systems of systemic racism and, the term we use, colonization, right? And you operating, because a lot of these organizations are colonized and they have like systemic, how can I say it? It's like systemically racist policies and practices in place,
right?
Where they still operating in it, but you got people who look like us are the face of it, but the policies and the practices are oppressive and racist.
Wow, how you get to this subject today?
It's just, man, because it's what's on my mind Wednesday,
but
right?
you know why?
You are on time.
And we see it is that when you're Black in America, right, and you're white in America, we know that white America gets a grace that Black America does not.
Yes, and they've been calling that privilege,
right? And what you'll look at when you have, because all of us been bosses, right? All of us have ran things.
Yeah.
And the things, and it's really hard because a lot of, they put more pressure on us.
Oh, yeah. We got to outperform.
Than our counterparts.
Yeah, we got to outperform.
And then also because we're always trying to prove a point, we're a little bit harder on us because we don't want to disappoint what we feel like the objective is.
Yeah, I hear that loud and clear, and that's a part of that internalized oppression where you think that you have to be like the oppressor in order to be effective,
right? And you don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a requirement. Like being, oppressive.
But the idolization is because is a thing about being oppressed, and sometimes the oppressed idolize the oppressor. because of the position that they're in. So that's where you get you emulating them.
Okay.
That's when you walking like them, talking like them, trying to be like them, then treating your people like you them.
Like the way that they see. Yeah.
But you know what?
You get what I'm saying?
But you know what?
And
also,
it's to your own detriment.
But it's psychological. It's a part of like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Like your kidnapper becomes your love interest. You want to marry them when they let you go.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because y'all treated me so bad under the worst conditions.
Y'all treated me good under the bad conditions. Y'all
I do that all the time.
No,
I think,
But you see it, and it's so hard because it's damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you see it. There's no winning, and because we talked about it with the Cat Williams, I was like, if they say something.
Yeah,
they in trouble. If they don't say
nothing,
they in trouble.
You know what I mean? So there's no winning, and so when so people
we can win together.
No, but what I'm saying, when you look at it, even as a supervisor, a
I hear you though, ain't
leader,
no
when you do it, if you give grace,
yeah,
sometimes it bites you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then when you don't, it also bites you.
Yeah, and
so
I hear that, but here's the talk, and it's not, but it's just in addition, and we're building on it.
Go ahead.
I think when you talk about oppression and internalized oppression, it's a difference between just doing your job, right?
Yeah.
Like okay, it's because there are certain things that, like whether we friends or whatever,
I got to do my job.
You still are required to do these things,
but
they use that as
the oppressive part of it is what I'm talking about, where this is not required for your job, but you being all extra in it anyway.
But see, what happens is, okay, hold that thought, is that even if you're not, because you're black, you're gonna be accused of that. A lot of times, like you could be doing your job and this is what you're doing, but if somebody don't like what you're doing, then now you're accused of the same thing.
So so I'm hearing two things, right? And I'm just want to try to tease out one of them. And
I love your facilitation. Go ahead.
Yes, I learned from the best. But the one I really, like you say, we got a job to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the most oppressive things we do to each other is done under the setting of I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
Right. And what it turns out to be is abuse of power. It turns out to be, prejudice. It turns out to be, and no matter what the job is, you get what I'm saying, whether you at the car wash or you working for the NAACP or if you working for the KKK.
Yeah.
Once you start to abuse your power and abuse your authority, you are already out of place.
Right.
You already wrong, but that's when white supremacy protects you.
Right.
Because of who you doing it to. You're not gonna do it to your white.
That's the other part of it.
It's who you doing it to, and then
that's the other part
and then white supremacy to the rescue.
That's the other part of it. You got two employees, one black, one white. You harder on the black one than on the white, but the white one is the one who's really making all of the mistakes.
But you know what? You know where that comes from too.
Tell me.
Sometimes, not all.
Yeah.
Is that I can relate and I care more about you than this person.
Okay.
Like when you have children, you're harder on your children than you are their friends.
I was just talking about that abuse of power.
You know what I mean? But that abuse of power. No. It's not always abuse of power.
Not to the detriment of
I thank God for my dad, because my dad was not like that. When I think about it, he was harder on my friends than he was on me. And when I think about that, because and what you just said, it reminded me of it. Like my brother, y'all know my brother Joe, right? And he told me, he said, I didn't know that Pop loved me until like years later, because he used to just be so hard on me. But because he was like, this is the people who you've identified as like if you was my friend and my dad was around, like you was my friend.
Yeah.
Like
you better get
you was tested. But like my father tested you to see where you at with it. Yeah.
Oh, and then he probably knew what he was lacking and gave him that.
Yeah. But
and that's what good
parenting. Caller, how you doing, caller?
Turn on your phone.
Real quick though, all my friends can tell you, like my pop didn't play.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hold on, Damien.
All right, caller. It's What's on Your Mind Wednesday.
What's going on? Y'all know I called to let y'all know about the hottest open mic tonight at Urban Drinkery going down.
The hottest open mic.
Y'all DJ Super Dave on the ones and twos. I'm hosting. It's a party every third Wednesday, Urban Drinkery.
I was going to
and we're doing the comedy cruise, jokes at sea, jokes on the wave. So hit me up, $50. Well, get your $50 deposit to book your cabin now. It's on my page. What the cruise ship is? The Carnival Celebration going down next year, April 2025. So I will put it in the comments. $50 book your cabin now. It's going down, going to Mexico. We're hanging out. It's up there like Granny Panties.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We talking about systematic oppression, and you on a cruise ship to Mexico. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't hold him, sugar. Don't hold him, sugar.
Hey, you only live once, man. God for the wake up, man.
That's right.
That's how you do it, man. It's up there like Granny Panties, man.
Real deal. But is it really an abuse of power? That's a question, Antonio.
Okay, is it abuse of power?
Yeah.
The phone number is 727-637-2416.
Yeah, I think when it is abuse of power. Yeah. I ain't saying that it is, but I say when it is, because you know when you're doing what you're doing. And a lot of times, I done been in that dynamic when people say I'm being hard on you because I love you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Okay. And there's a line when you disrespecting me and when you oppressing me. You calling it love.
Yeah.
You saying it's love, but bruh.
This oppression.
Bruh, what are you talking about? This love. Who are you talking to?
Some of
I know what love is. Yeah. I'm a grown man. But I'm a grown man. I know what love is, and that ain't. These people are using their power to influence and to try to rule over the people they feel they're bigger than.
But you want me to tell you, it's sometimes that could be true, but on the flip side, that is what they think love is, because people define love differently.
It's trauma.
You know, and that's the thing.
Trauma. I agree.
Like love to me is like soft touch, like I like sweet words, you know what I mean. I want you to hold my hand, but other people, love to them is pushing, cussing, because people. But this is
is lying to you, like baby boy. I only lie to you
because I love you.
Right.
If I didn't love you, I'll tell you.
So we talking about trauma. So we talking about trauma
and internalized oppression.
Yeah, and people who traumatizing other people.
Yeah.
Right. And then that all plays a factor in it. Go ahead, caller. Introduce yourself.
Hey, it's Antonio. This is Big Yo.
Hey,
what's up, brother?
Hey, Shaw, why your feet don't touch the ground on the stool?
You can't even see my feet.
Yes, I can.
Look now.
No,
now I'm looking at
your
the camera.
whole family short. So what is you talking about?
what's on your mind?
I wanted to touch bases on y'all topic. What y'all talking about?
Okay.
Right? So yes, it does happen every day in the workplace, and I think what the problem is us, as in my opinion, as Black people. Now, some people are not going to agree with what I'm saying, but some people will.
Okay.
You know, when you start off as a regular work employee, just equal as those other employees, you know, things is cool. But when one of those people get promoted to a higher position,
there you go.
I hear that.
Now it's an issue. You know what I mean? Because you got the ones that's been left behind. Oh, he tripping, or he acting like the white man, or he being phony and this and that there. And where it comes in is that everybody don't have the same work ethic.
Okay,
that's right, though.
Yeah.
Some people take their job serious. You know what I mean? Some people want to do their job.
Yeah.
To the highest of the best of their ability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody else, you know, just want to play games and just do the bare minimum. You know what I mean? And now you're in a position and you got to learn how to separate your friends from business.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
You own it now.
Yeah.
Because when you're working with your friends, they're going to take advantage of you. You know what I mean? Especially when you're an authority figure. I ain't got to do this because my dog run this here. I ain't got to do this.
But no, it's different. It's different. Sometimes
it can be different.
Yeah, I got to do it because my dog.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I want to do it, but
my
dog,
I'm tell you, if they really your friends, but they take advantage. People do take advantage.
Listen, he own it though. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. You own it, and that's definitely one of the dynamics.
Yeah.
That when we doing wrong. You get what I'm saying? That is definitely one of them because but when you flip that coin, it's more often than not the I don't know. I can't say then. So it's up in the air. I hear you, yo. Yeah, yo, it's up in the air. I definitely give them that. That's up in the air.
Because I think it's a holistic approach, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like an either or one size fits all. It's different layers of
it's different degrees.
Yeah. One, it comes with emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
That you always use is that your friend who say
I got a whole thing on emotional intelligence.
No, but
we're gonna talk about that after the hour.
But you see people who understand like the dynamics of it. Under other people who've been bosses and leaders and stuff understand that the lack of hurts your friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to back up a little bit and talk about what Big Yoke was saying about the work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different work ethics.
Because ethics is like your internal thing. Like that's the thing that's personal to you. And that's what it talks about here, where when we talking about internalized oppression, you're exhibiting behaviors that align with the oppressive group's ideas of what work ethic is. You see what I'm saying? So, because that's the brand that they put on us. You know, we lazy, we shiftless, you know, and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, you lazy. Who are you talking to?
But you might be the hardest working person ever, but because you're not doing it the way they want you to do it, like that's another part of it too.
So I'm finna tell you what all three of us are.
Yeah,
we're smart workers.
Yeah, and people who want you to be hard workers don't like smart workers.
They do not like smart workers. Yeah. They feel like you're cheating.
Yeah.
Like getting the same results
or more or
better and doing half of the work that you're doing.
And that's when the abuse starts happening.
And then you don't understand why. And then you look at they start to label you and you label you and then they find a reason to let you go because you're outdoing them, you're outshining them, and what they say should be what you should be doing, how they say you need to be working hard. Because like when we're organizers, right?
I got so much on this, man.
It's a great responsibility that come with leadership.
It does.
It's a great responsibility.
And there's different styles of leadership. Right. And we'll talk about that at
we got a hard stop, y'all.
Working with friends is another one when you work with and hire your friends.
But I work good with my friends, man. And I make friends with the people I work with.
Hey, let's call it for real.
Some friends is hard to work with.
Some friends are hard. Some of
those are the ones that we don't call when the jobs come up.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that after the hour.
We don't call them hard heads.
We'll be back 7 minutes after the hour. Tag a friend, tell a friend.
Miss Wanda, thank you.
This is Community Radio 99 Gems Care Festival Radio, and we ain't stopping. Hey, listen, if you are tuned in right now, you can donate, you can support, you can call 99 Gems Care Festival Radio. We've been doing fundraisers for all the spring, but now we have extended it to the summertime.
Come on,
and
man.
you, if you listening to my voice, you can donate and help support the 99 Gems Care Festival Radio station. You can call 813-419-2035. That's 813-419-2035 to support 99 Gems the Berg. You're listening to the new morning show, Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Hey,
longest
caller,
running
introduce
podcast
yourself
in the Tampa Bay area.
Let's go.
Hello,
well, hold on. What this is? A collect call? My call got
Yo, what's up, man?
So when we say thank you for calling, we appreciate it. We hang up after that. That's our way. That's our way of saying.
All right.
But we always pick up when you call back.
I got to call back and get in the queue.
All right, then.
Yo, what's up, man? What you got?
Okay, so let me ask you this here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do y'all think about?
I know it's early in the morning, man. Your brain, you know, you're hung the phone.
Right.
You fell asleep. Hey, wake up.
Or did you get in the dad spot? Because we don't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't hear nothing.
Call back.
It probably dropped.
Yeah, it might have dropped.
I heard what you think about, and then it just went radio shot. But the work ethic, that's the other part of it. So we're talking about work ethic, and there's certain types of, like what you said, it's policies and it's institutional practices. And a lot of those institutional practices don't have to be there.
No.
And they don't have to be a policy.
We've been in places where you be like, listen.
Why y'all do that? Yeah.
What is you doing? Why is you tripping? Am I doing the job? Am I getting like, do you have to ever question my work?
Right.
Like, get me on my, like, when my work is not turned in on time, when I'm not performing at the best, or I'm not meeting the requirements, then talk to me. Don't talk to me about how I'm getting there.
I think it's PTR, preference, tradition, and requirements.
Yes.
We are requirement type workers or performers, and some people are tradition or preference.
Right.
See, it's either how we've been doing it, or it's how I prefer you to do it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. When in our mind, I'm thinking about the requirement.
What do we have to do?
What is the goal? And let me get to there.
Yeah. Because the way you prefer me to do it might not be the best way to do it.
And the tradition of it being done,
of how you've always
might be white supremacy.
Yeah.
Right. It might be.
It might
Go
be.
ahead, yo, you're back on if you can.
What
I mean,
what do we think about?
AT&T 1-800 dial COLLECT.
It might be you.
I want you to forget the question. What's the question?
That dial-up service y'all got. So listen. So let's talk about gentrification. What you think about gentrification?
We're gonna get to that. We can come back to that. But we talking about internalized oppression right now, and I want to continue to pull the string.
And gentrification is part of it, because that's why we ain't buy all the properties up and fix that house up because of that internalized oppression. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Thank you, yo. Right. We'll talk to you, but listen, I'm gonna throw it out there.
Thank you for that.
Listen, I'm gonna throw it out there. That was part of internalized oppression. We had the best houses on the highest land. And we let people come up and buy it all up like it was worthless because they told us it was worthless, and we agreed with them. We silently agreed with those oppressive statements, and guess what? Now we're living the outcome, because gentrifying the community ain't the bad thing. It's when we can't afford to live there no more.
Yeah,
because we want a cleaner and more productive community. We want walking communities. We want businesses on the corridors.
Right.
We want the permits to go out. But we want to benefit
from it. You want the value of your property.
Exactly.
Because you get equity in your property.
But what I don't want is not to be able to afford to stay here.
Yeah.
And then internalized oppression is what kind of got us staring down the barrel of that gentrification gun.
And I think it's lack of knowledge.
It is a lack of knowledge. I was at a meeting. All of us was at this meeting, and we stayed in the same neighborhood. And a white guy got up there and complained about something. And then I saw somebody jump up and be like, you know what? Immediately, I'm going to go walk that neighborhood with you. I'm going to figure out what's wrong. Yeah. I know that he's not the first person that complained about it. So there was probably people that looked like us that complained, and nobody jumped up
and said
let's walk.
Yeah.
But because somebody else, who a white guy said it, now it's of importance.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another one of those things. So let's look at it like this. When you talk about internalized oppression, when you have a situation where you see that the word of a white person carries more weight than the word of a black person, right? In that particular space. Mm-hmm. Now, how do you internalize that? What does that make you feel like as an individual? It's like, okay, well, my word don't mean nothing.
So when I went,
you know what I'm saying?
You want to go first?
Yes. All I want to say is, what about when you are the one that got to be the judge of that?
Yeah.
When you got the white person here and then the black person there, and you like, okay, yes, sir. I hear you.
And you giving them your undivided
I
attention.
Hear you, sir.
Yeah. Be quiet over there, Junebug, because you splitting.
I don't know why y'all be acting like that in front of these people. They can't act like nothing when you take them somewhere. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
We supposed to act like something?
I'm going to say this is, so whenever you're being disruptive, regardless of who you are, you need to be addressed different.
We being disruptive, okay.
Right?
Unless it's a protest.
So it's different from being disruptive and just being yourself, if that makes sense.
Okay.
What if you are disruptive?
Then again, you need to address that. So
because sometimes some spaces need to be disruptive.
I was just going to say, we have to get to the point. And I was on the Ray Tampa podcast. Y'all check it out. It was a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there is times when you are supposed to disrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? There comes a time, right? And then you shouldn't be judged because I had to be the disruptor.
Yeah,
right.
You should. Yeah, I mean that comes with the territory.
And I think that's that internalized, like when you start to see and challenge and confront these systems of oppression and racism, that's a form of disruption.
Yes, and agitation. Agitation is what gets your clothes clean.
But you're gonna be judged regardless.
Of course.
Right? And so you don't get upset about the judgment per se. Because you're gonna be some people are gonna judge and be like, that was a great move. Yeah. Like and then other people are gonna be like, that boy always causing problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what happens is
that the ones who think like that are usually comfortable in the situation.
Right. Or they're being rewarded.
Yeah.
So
that's the comfort.
That's the comfort. But
because if you say, look, man, you always causing problems, usually that's coming from a place of comfort. You're disturbing my comfort right now. You're upsetting my good thing. And you need to just like chill because this like it's not as bad as you trying to make it seem. Like in some cases, that's another manifestation of that internalized oppression. Like you comfortable in hell, and I'm just saying, man, it's hot in here. And you saying, what you mean it's hot in here? We in hell. It's supposed to be hot in here. Why you coming in here talking about we need to cool everything off? You know you was in hell. You knew it was hot in here. Like, well, wait a minute. I can be uncomfortable in this situation and say that I want to make change.
Right.
And it's not an attack on you. It's attack on the system and where we are in this environment. Like we're trying to change.
And we wouldn't be where we're at if we didn't want change. Like if things wouldn't change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Women wouldn't have rights. Yeah. You know what I mean? We would still have green bitches here in St. Pete.
Right.
If we didn't attack it and want change. So change necessarily not bad.
Real deal, man. So yeah, so you got internalized oppression. It's a multifaceted and very complicated system and lots of different factors. Some of the ways that you can address it is, of course, by having, just knowing that it exists, understanding the impact of it, maybe making time to reflect on yourself in spaces or times where you might have, experienced it, how it manifested for you. And then, it's a lot of ways you can deal with it, but I just wanted to lift that up. That's what's on my mind.
I would definitely for that.
Internalized oppression.
That's a great conversation.
You mentioned emotional intelligence.
Okay, let's run it.
And emotional maturity, right? Emotional maturity encompasses a range of traits and behaviors that contribute to emotional regulation, interpersonal relationships, and overall well-being. So emotional maturity begins with self-awareness, which involves recognizing and understanding your own emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Pay attention to your emotional responses in different situations and reflect on the underlying causes. So just knowing what your triggers are, knowing, when you get moved, like it's another one of them tips and tools. So you know what
is so hard with people when you're looking at emotionally intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to fall in what you know.
Yes.
Like it is. So it's so
I'm laughing because I just had a situation where
fell into what you know.
I did.
But
it was only for a second though. I had to
because people are not.
And it was a road rage situation, and I was like the victim, but I wasn't finna be the victim.
Okay,
that type deal. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, I got you. Like, you ain't get me.
You like don't know what you got.
What you mean block?
Because the numbers. Huh?
Yeah, I'm like
just went to zero.
Yes.
Y'all don't be blocking me, man.
Don't be blocking me, man.
But I want to. I definitely want to.
Let me share it.
Yes, please. I definitely want to continue that conversation because I think that we just got we got some things we need to work. We got some things we need to work on because it's not the emotional intelligence is not prevalent. It ain't everywhere.
Yeah.
Because like you say, road rage happens like this.
Yeah.
And you be in it before you know it.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
I sure did, man.
You be in it before you know it and fall back to your training.
Yeah.
So that means we have to practice empathy and sympathy and empathy and sympathy, two different things.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
And you have to practice responding and not reacting. That's another part of
I like that. We gotta practice it. There's nothing wrong with practicing it because it's not our normal response.
Right. Sometimes we just react to a situation.
Yeah, I be taking off.
Like, wait a minute, hold on.
My blood pressure be up. I be sweating. I take off. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo, like Ric Flair. Woo.
Yeah, it's
real, I got to create emotional intelligence. Got to kick in. Woo!
And emotionally mature individuals, like you said, they demonstrate empathy towards others, showing understanding and compassion for their feelings and experiences. Empathy allows you to connect with others on a deeper level and navigate the interpersonal relationships with sensitivity and understanding. So it allows you to basically walk a mile in another person's shoes.
But everybody doesn't have it.
Yeah,
everybody.
That's why I say you got to practice.
Yeah,
because I ain't had when I first learned about it. Yeah, I learned about it a few years back, and I'm like, wow, this something.
Yeah,
and then it's like, okay, being aware of your thoughts and being aware of what it's just being more aware.
Yeah,
and then being aware of the other person's feelings towards what you finna say or do. You get what I'm saying?
You know what? I have found myself because I have a lot of female friends, but I have just as many guy friends, which is unusual. I'm finding out even more. Right?
Oh, you see now.
I see
12 years later.
12 years.
That shit's kind of odd.
But what I'm saying is that I can understand sometimes the thinking of a man when other females cannot.
Okay,
right,
but that's a little emotional intelligence
because you have relationships with
and now but it also because learning that we both think different and we approach stuff different, and it doesn't mean that it's wrong, but we have to give each other grace to explain why we do the things we do.
I agree, and like you say, it's not common, and we got to practice it. It's a muscle. It's just like anything else. We have to get it in a routine. It's not normal. And like what we were saying earlier about internalized oppression is not. Some of it is so normal. We have to practice our way out of it. And I got to practice treating you. You know what I'm saying, with respect and reverence.
And we lose that in our relationships.
And I think
we lose that in our relationships. And you think when we were talking about, like, you feel like you're the man, so you lead. So shut up and listen. You know what I mean? And that's not really what leading is, but some people think it is.
Wow.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah, and when you talked about empathy, one of the things I remember reading, they said that you'll see why I stopped.
Go ahead.
There's some studies that show that people who read more are usually more empathetic, because when you're reading books that have you identify with characters, like especially if it's like character books, and so when you read as you're reading the story, you're putting yourself in this other person's shoes. So now, if you have practiced that through reading, when you hear,
you can have more empathy.
And reading,
it's just like something that when you operate in the real world, it's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, okay,
I see that.
You know what?
But if you don't read and you just have your view,
that's all I see.
But reading also typically gives you backstories on people.
Yeah. So in context,
right? So then you understand why they react the way they do, and it's nothing that they're doing personal, you know. And people,
you can put it in context and perspective. Yeah,
I think it's imagination.
Okay,
because you're gonna have to, when you read, you imagine as you read.
Yeah,
and when you trying to imagine what somebody else feels, you still using your imagination.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So every word you read is imagining. 99 jams. Okay, what a jam look like to me.
Yeah.
What a radio look like to me. As I read it, it's triggering my imagination.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But Elmo, we can move on.
Yeah, no, that's right though. Another part of emotional intelligence is and maturity is assertiveness. Here's the part that I think we overlook too. Assertiveness is the ability to express your needs, opinions, and boundaries in a respectful and confident manner. Emotionally mature individuals are able to assert themselves without resorting to aggression or passive aggressive behavior.
Yeah, I would agree, because people who are abusive or always react in anger, they don't know how to communicate properly. So then they rely on the anger or the abuse to express how they're feeling.
And sometimes it's sarcasm. Sometimes it's like slick shots. Sometimes, you know, they call it that passive aggressive, that microaggressive thing.
Slick shot.
You know what I mean? They just have you, you know, we used to say coming slick, right? You like, you coming slick. Like that's a form of aggression, but it manifests when you're not communicating. You know, sometimes it's like,
there's a time for everything.
Well, I've seen people say, I'm just gonna keep it real as a way to be disrespectful,
and I don't agree. So
you know what I'm saying?
It's a veil. It's a mask veil.
I just gotta keep it real. I just gotta keep it 100.
You know what?
And then come out with some disrespect.
And then you come out and say something totally disrespectful.
Well, you can't have to say that.
That's emotionally immature.
When you're talking about keeping it real. If what you're saying is not gonna be helpful and just hurtful, then you ain't keeping it real.
Ooh.
But that's emotional intelligence, because you have to think about what somebody else is feeling. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying about the imagination. Some people can't even imagine how you feel. Oh, I'm just gonna say some old blurry blah blah blah.
No. When them people
say, they know what they're doing.
They know what they intentionally go out and hurt you. Like they want to say, I'm keeping it real. I don't care how you feel about it. Somebody had to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that may be true, but it's a way that you do that when you're emotionally mature versus when you're not emotionally mature. And then the emotional maturity oftentimes can determine how it's received. Because if you deliver it in a way that's responsible, then you'll be able to get a proper response. Sometimes, not always, because some people just gonna respond how they're gonna respond.
Yeah.
But it increases the likelihood of you being able to effectively communicate when you're emotionally mature and responsible. So.
And it's hard for people to get emotionally intelligent, or because one, they say let's say the algorithm and on like TikTok, Facebook, if you think negative, it's gonna come up in your feed.
If you liking negative stuff, you're gonna get more of it.
It feeds what you are interested in. So if you
and then you can't get away from it,
and then you be like, look, this is true. You know what I mean? Because everything that you're seeing is co-signing your beliefs, because this is what you like. So it's gonna feed you the negativity, more of the negativity.
So my daughter and I, this what's on your mind Wednesday, y'all feel free to chime in.
Call in 727-637-2416. Go ahead.
So my daughter and I, we was having a conversation. Actually, my wife, my daughter and I, we were talking about people who are chronically unhappy, right? And you sometimes find people are happy in their unhappiness.
They are.
And
drowning in sorrow.
It's like, and one of the ways that you can determine that, and this was like I said, just my daughter was sharing an experience that she was having with an individual, and this is, Brother John and her.
That's a thing.
I guess that's the thing.
That's what you was doing today. This is baby girl.
This is baby girl. Okay, baby girl. So she had a situation at work, and I'm like, okay, it sounds like this person is chronically unhappy, right? Which means that they're happy in their unhappiness, because she was saying, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, to try and cheer them up or try and move them from this unhappy state, they have a rebuttal for it, or they have an excuse
to stay in
it. So you know what? At this point, it's clear that you don't want to have my idea of what happiness is, because my idea of happiness is I'm at peace. I ain't got no complaints. Things are good. But in your subconscious pattern of unhappiness, like no matter what I say to help you change your perspective, like you complaining about a job, like, you know what? You got a job. It's people that
always trying to be a grumpy Smurf,
like trying to find that thing. That's right. And grumpy Smurf is happy being.
Man, they
grumpy.
Always doing something to me, man. I'm tired of you telling me.
But being able to recognize, and this is kind of where we landed. The plane was like being able to recognize and see that allows you to deal with that person differently.
So me personally, I like if I see you, because that's for me, that is so draining.
It is. It is. It really is. It's hard to try and cheer up somebody who's happy being unhappy.
Right. Because I don't care what you get. You get them ice cream. Well,
it ain't cold enough.
But it's ice cream. It melted too soon. Why didn't you eat it? I don't know what else to tell you, but you still got a treat.
Like you said,
why I got mine last? Oh,
everything. Lord. And it's people that's like that for real.
No, it really is.
And once you see that you're dealing with somebody like that, you can save your time, save your energy. Like they are right with being unhappy.
But you want me to tell you, people who are happy typically end up.
Good morning, Miss Teresa.
Connecting with those type of people.
Yes, misery loves company.
And no. What happened is these people who are chronically unhappy, they can't believe that you're always happy. So they come in.
It's called conflict.
They come in just to see if it's real.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they'll be happy with you for a second, but when they realize that that's your happy, like that's your spot,
like
they get upset.
Yeah. Because they're trying to find something to be unhappy about. And if I'm happy being unhappy, then I got to do something
To make you unhappy.
To make you,
See,
Or if it's not making you unhappy, just the fact that you happy annoys me.
It does.
Right? It's like, why are you so happy? Why are you so
Because they can't believe it. They can't believe that this is truly what you are. But they don't know any better, right? Yeah. And what happens is you have a lifetime of people telling you that people are against you, that and you have been planted these negative seeds.
And they internalize
it. And so once and so they feel like that's where they're at, and because they're comfortable there, it's hard to jump. How many people don't leave St. Pete?
That's true.
To go to Tampa.
That's a lot.
Because it's the unknown.
Yeah.
They're scared. So you know what? I'm just gonna stay right here. How many? There's kids today don't drive.
Okay.
Because the unknown, and they're okay with just Ubering around, and they don't need that independence. So you see it in every aspect where people comfortability keep you stuck in places that maybe you need to venture off from.
Right on. So you listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, the longest running podcast in the Tampa Bay area. Kiana said it, and I agree with it. Original, not crispy. Right here on
not crispy.
Right here on 99 Gems. And you can support us by going to 99gemstheberg.com if you'd like to give a donation, become a show sponsor, or just contribute to what we got going on, y'all. Did y'all see this story? It was a question that's coming up about juvenile justice and community accountability. There's a case of an 11-year-old that was recently sentenced in Louisiana. So the recent sentencing of an 11-year-old black girl to 7 years relating to a fatal shooting of a 36-year-old white man has sparked controversy, raising questions about the juvenile justice system's approach to rehab and accountability. The judge's decision to intervene and rehabilitate rather than seek punitive measures has ignited discussions about systemic failure. So basically, she was, and they like redacted a lot of the circumstances around the case, but her brother, 15-year-old, she's 11-year-old, and they were charging her with like an accessory to murder after fact because she basically helped her brother out after he, committed this murder. And
what did he do to them?
I don't know. That's the other part of it. So the community conversation and questions right now is about what was the relationship between these children and this adult. Because again, long story short, he was murdered. The judge sentenced the 11-year-old to 7 years, 3.5 years in custody, and then 3.5 years outside of custody. And they were saying that I think they reduced the charge to like obstruction of justice, and so she didn't have to do any time in custody at all. And that's what the outcry is. Like, how do you, lock up an 11-year-old? And that's a part of this.
What did the 15-year-old get?
Community comes. I didn't see that.
Probably gave him life, but I don't know. Yeah. But
which would be there's so many. So when you look at it,
and I can pull up and find the details of the.
So they saying it was bad? Or, I'm understanding the outcry.
No, the outcry is that you got an 11-year-old that's about to be sentenced to 7 years for obstruction of justice, and they saying that it's a failure of the justice system because they had like saying that this 11-year-old went to 12 different schools, like all kind of like home issues, all kind of trauma and all that stuff.
Like, it sounds like for me, so I don't know the story, and I really want to get the background of the story.
I'll find it and
get it, but it sounds like these two kids were put in a bad situation.
Yes.
Just kind of listening to it.
That was one of the points. The point was like their lives and the situation was horrible.
And now they got life.
And now they got life, because
they got charges.
They got charges.
But think about this, because a 15-year-old did it and his 11-year-old sister came to his aid to say. Yeah. So these two people, all they had their whole life probably is each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so they protect each other at all costs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then now I want to know, what did this 36-year-old white man do to them, if anything?
Mm-hmm.
But what happened to make them feel like they had to take his life? Was it an accident?
Yeah.
Was he trying to touch them? Was there, was there abuse? Was he trying to pimp them out? Or was they just trying to survive and they was trying to rob and then it went wrong?
Yeah.
There's so many rings, but for
and I'll pull it because it's like it's been an ongoing like saga, and it just ended with this sentencing, and basically the girl's attorney was highlighting the belief that 11-year-olds are too young to be subjected to criminal justice system, advocating for rehabilitation over incarceration. Critics of the sentencing expressed skepticism about the effectiveness of punitive measures for juvenile offenders. And that's really what the topic of conversation is. Like, when you got an 11-year-old, your brain ain't developed, like all of these things. And they're saying, okay, when you cage them and you lock them up, is this really to their benefit?
It's not. So it's not to anybody's benefit.
Yeah.
The system is not made to rehabilitate you. We know that. Mm-hmm. Not even for adults. So it's not for children.
Right.
You know what I mean? You see people, grown-ups who go to prison and they become even bigger monsters now that they're in prison than they were prior. They because they didn't have the proper tools. And there are some just evil people out there. But usually people are just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And sometimes, So it's more, but just Google that, research it, man. It's definitely an ongoing debate about the criminal justice system as it relates to juveniles.
I want to say this: the criminal justice system and juveniles have a wicked history, especially with black kids.
Yeah,
the first kid that was killed by execution,
state of Florida,
was a young black boy. Okay, I mean, was a kid in America.
I think his last name.
Yeah, young black kid.
14-year-old.
Yeah, young black kid, and it has kept going on. Like, a lot of people don't know, Pinellas County at one time sent the most black juveniles to prison than anywhere in America.
Yeah,
I ain't say Florida.
Yeah,
I said America. Pinellas County Jail.
Yeah,
Pinellas County Jail sent more black bodies, young kids. Y'all ever heard of the Dozier School for Boys?
Yes, sir.
All those black bodies they find, and all them black kids they find and buried in the back of Dozier.
Yeah,
that's right there in Bradenton. That's right across the bridge.
Yeah,
like I feel bad for these kids. And, I don't know the whole situation. Sure. I'm just speaking on the criminal justice system and black bodies and black babies. And they always done us wrong. You know what I mean?
I naturally have empathy for them.
Yeah.
Just me naturally.
Yeah, not even knowing, because we know the system.
Yeah.
Without knowing the circumstances.
Just knowing and understanding.
Just know the system.
So as soon as I hear it, I'm like, wow.
Son, ain't right. I hear you.
Yeah, what happened?
What they did.
What they did to them, kids, yeah.
Because I'm looking at it here. I mean, again, I know there's like some bad kids out there, but usually these are kids who haven't showed love, doesn't have structure, who again is trying to figure it out. 11 and 15-year-old have so much life to live and don't even know.
Yeah.
They probably don't even know they left from they right. And now you're talking about let's lock them up for life.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, Mr. Edmond,
7 years.
Mr. Edmond, you was telling me earlier about I'm just going to change the topic because that is heavy, but I want y'all to continue to keep your eyes on that one because it is a topic.
Stay vigilant.
Stay vigilant. Bahia Siddiqui, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Stephanie, I appreciate you. Miss Debbie, what up? Dan, I see you. Appreciate you. You be just tapped in. Welcome to the ride, man. Trump trial. You had mentioned that. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening with the Trump trial?
I've been.
Trump lawyer.
What's up with the Trump trial?
Trump lawyer, Michael Cohen, got on. he got on the stand. They say he's a liar.
Big deal.
They say he's a liar. He's a convicted liar. But what they don't say, he was convicted for lying for Trump.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
See, that's what they don't never say. They'll say he liar. And he lied.
They don't say what he lied about.
He lied for Trump.
It's been on my TV, right?
Okay.
And actually, I went to sleep with it on, and it was on all night.
It was on when you woke up.
So are you watching the actual trial or just
highlights?
I'm highlighting.
There's no cameras. There's no cameras in the courtroom.
Okay. Right. So
so you get the clips and that. Yeah.
But first of all, I think this whole trial is stupid.
This the hush money one, right?
The whole trial is stupid.
Hush money?
Yes, the whole trial is stupid to me. Like, we're wasting time. I don't care what he spent his money on to tell. If he slept with her, what crime is it to pay? Like, it is a crime to pay somebody to sleep with them in certain states.
Well, she got paid to sleep with him.
I think the issue is he paid her from a campaign account.
No, they lied about where the money. What they saying is
they're trying to get it from.
Yes, that's the law. Yeah.
If you raising money to become this and you using it to pay off. hookers tell him.
They said the man put his house up.
Like you can't do that.
So he got a line of credit.
Yeah, he said he put his house up.
No, he got a line of credit
from his house.
I don't know. It might
so
be.
He got a line of credit from his house.
But from his
home equity line of credit.
Yeah.
And then pay
Not
up
both
with
of
it.
y'all.
But
a HELOC.
So let's say he got a HELOC. That still is not election money.
Okay. No, but they say so. What they saying?
But then he
that's what the trial.
I'm just gonna say the circumstances they're saying. This is all the allegations.
Okay.
Is that after he took the HELOC out to pay him back, the money came from the campaign, and then they wrote that it was for something else. And so that's why they saying Cohen. That's why they call him a rat, because he's the one that's telling everybody that that's why they gave me the money.
But then also in this trial, he's saying that he did a lot of stuff that he didn't get paid for.
Yeah, he said.
No, so again, if you got the 130,000, but then you say that you took 100,000 out, you did this, you did that, you did this.
You think he's lying?
Listen,
Michael Cohen, you think?
Listen, the picture that they are painting for him, like
he's a liar.
They're trying to make it seem like he is this puppet. Like, and so I'm listening to them, like he came in there like with his hands on the side, all humble, eyes down, and then when he's talking, he's looking at the jury like he's been coached amazing, but he's a lawyer as well, so he know these
how
tactics,
to play to the jury,
right? And then like I was really trying to get a job, and then I realized that I wasn't going to be hired, so now you salty.
Okay.
I feel like I'm listening to it. All of this is a big joke.
What's the consequence if he's convicted? Like if they find him guilty, is this criminal? So is this criminal?
I don't even know.
I'm so sorry that I have just not been paying attention to.
I do think it's criminal. So, I do think I might be wrong, but I think it's for financial crime.
They keep on saying, but he lied.
What do you call it? White collar.
He lied about he looked at that whole, like, people lie about not sleeping with people all the time. Like, I just don't understand.
I don't get it.
People lie about not sleeping with people all the time.
I didn't do it. No, I don't know. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I might have, but
and then she ended up being your baby mama.
Yeah, you can't even say nothing. You just look.
That baby don't.
It was just that one time. Just that one time.
Oh my God.
That's all it takes.
But it's ongoing. Trump still in tone.
Yes, and then this is a historical trial. This is the first time that former president has gone up for criminal charges like this.
But it won't be the last.
It's the first time that president running that somebody running for president.
And that's what he's been getting in trouble for, because he's been saying like,
oh no, he been bucking.
He been bucking the gag.
Yeah, right? And they charge him like $1,000. And but that's white privilege.
They threatened him with jail.
Listen, man, they would have thrown me in jail the first time.
Yeah,
you can't even step out of line like some of the stuff this man doing.
He done did like 8 times.
More than that.
Yeah, okay.
More than that.
I saw it
man.
And there was an NDA too.
Yeah, man. The time
you wasn't supposed to be saying that
because they feel that people are getting threatened if he say your name.
Okay.
And then people come to your house.
Yeah.
So as a trial is going on, you can't do that to the judge or the prosecutor. You can't be.
Look how important you got to be if somebody come to your house.
I don't want you to come to my house. Don't
no,
you come
just
over
that.
here.
If you come over here,
I told you my road rage.
Yeah, that's
you reminded me that I still got some growing to do.
God's still working on me.
They reminded me. Okay, he's still working on me. He ain't through with me yet.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Okay, in other news, with Drake and Kendrick beef.
Wait.
Okay, Miss Teresa.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to? I'm gonna read Miss Teresa's comment. So I just read a few articles about an 11-year-old girl in Louisiana. This is sad on several levels because her brother and mother were also charged for their roles. Her mother and brother were caught and arrested in Houston. Thank you, Miss Teresa.
Okay.
And they went on a run.
Yeah, it's been a saga for sure. You were saying in other news.
Oh yeah, in other news, Drake and Kendrick beef.
Over with.
Drake is being held as the loser.
Okay. It depends on.
And they saying Kendrick won.
Art is subjective.
Didn't we just talk about this?
We're going to talk about it right now again.
They say art is subjective, right?
It is the talk of hip hop.
So
who won?
You over it?
I've been over
Who won? You say Drake won.
But okay,
who you say won?
I say Kendrick won. I like Kendrick.
Okay, and I'm gonna be the moderator.
Okay.
Why did Kendrick win?
Because I just like Kendrick better than I like Drake.
Okay. Why did Drake win?
So there we go. I digress.
I just
actually, so Kendrick's last song did come back out kind of popping. But Kendrick was boring. All the other ones.
I think the one that's popping is going.
Like his.
But then what you're looking
for people who listen to Kendrick may not necessarily be people who listen to Drake, and so this is the other part of it too. With the thing that what Kendrick was saying about Drake. About the cultural appropriation piece of it when he started talking about how he uses his privilege to be able to navigate and move in some spaces, and he also uses his platform not to inspire and to uplift the community in a way that he does. And when you listen to like his Pulitzer or Nobel Prize winning albums, you can see that the content of a Kendrick album is going to be different from the content of a Drake album. And I prefer the content of Kendrick.
Okay.
I have Kendrick album. I'll listen to it. You got to have a thesis. You got no. Like the average person,
you gotta have a PowerPoint.
You got it's a headache.
And I'm that person.
Some slides.
It don't make my head hurt.
Hey, some slides sheets and some spreadsheet.
It's gonna because you got to replay. Like typically, you got to replay to catch what it is.
I like that kind of hip hop,
and that's fine. No. There's a time for me.
Yeah,
there's a time for it. Like sometimes but when I listen to music, and I mean it's thoughtful.
Yeah.
It can be, but I just wanna, give me some.
I get it, and that's what Drake gives you.
Sometimes,
and that's what you get from Drake. That's what I'm saying.
Understood.
And then so here you go with Kendrick. Now I will tell you what happens is that Drake entered the battle with somebody that was beneath him. Kind of, you know what I mean?
And then he uplifted them by entering into it.
So what happened is now more people are, because Drake had more to lose than Kendrick. Kendrick had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Because his fan is his fan. Drake is the top.
You're right. We did talk about this.
Top dogs, right? When you look at it, now you're looking at, Kendrick is talking about him being a pedophile and all this other stuff. So now they're bringing out a lot of stuff that people are now side and looking at
the pedophile allegation
and all this other stuff with Drake, where then it can diminish his whole thing a little bit. So when you look at it, but this is what happens when you have this rap battle. At first it was entertaining, but then it now done got dangerous. Drake security guard got shot. His house tried to get broken in. Like people are really taking this to another level.
So that goes back to our conversation earlier about emotional intelligence. Like if you're emotionally intelligent, when you hear these songs, you understand that this is entertainment and it's art. And these are two individuals expressing themselves about how they feel about each other. And it got nothing to do with you. You about to go risk it all to try and prove what? You about to go handle.
These are your diehard fans. So then do you have stupid. Yeah, but you saying that to somebody who's emotionally intelligent, who's grown, who
unintelligent,
I'm saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And they're not.
And they're not. Dang. And you're also talking about somebody who has, you got to get up, you got a family, you got all this other stuff. All they do is listen to music. They have nothing. And so they take on their beat to, thinking this is their calling. Like, I'm supposed to do this, That
was like the guy who killed John Lennon. Remember that?
Sirhan.
Yeah, he wanted to be famous or something, and so he figured I'd be famous by killing
ideations. They call them ideations, but I think.
So, do you think that artists have a responsibility?
Yes, and I'm glad that's what I want. That's what I wanted to interject. That the responsibility on, and we talked about this earlier. Leadership has responsibilities, and no matter how we look at it, these are the leaders. They have put rap artists and comedians as the leaders of the new world, right?
But is that necessarily fair? Because
it's not.
Because you look at Sexy Red,
but she's a leader. She's a leader, and there's a following for Sexy Red. Go to the club and look at her following.
Yeah. That's what I remember. Minister Farrakhan said that. He said when he was talking to rappers, he said you can reach more people with one of your songs than I can reach with 1,000 lectures.
And that's so true. And I think the problem is that they don't accept it, or they do accept it but don't accept the responsibility that come with it, because people are looking up to you. You can say this and they'll go do it. You can say this about this and they'll go do it. And it's really a mix of responsibility, because the record labels who putting it out.
There you go.
So the artist cannot post to iTunes. An artist cannot, I repeat, an artist on a major label cannot post his own music to iTunes.
There you go.
It has to go through the record label. And the one record label who owns all of this music is Universal Music Group. They own all the music. So what they're doing, they're sitting back smoking big cigars on the biggest boat you ever seen in your life, while Drake security ducking bullets. You get what I'm saying? Yep. And okay, caller.
It's What's on Your Mind Wednesday. You on there?
Man, y'all forgetting that this is the real essence of hip hop, man.
Okay.
Then the difference is right now is nobody's really losing.
Okay.
Yeah, Drake losing some fans, but we ain't losing no lives. And it's not like back in the old days when LL battled Kool Moe Dee and pretty much Kool Moe Dee faded out.
Yeah.
Or when LL killed Cannabis and his career was over.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, LL killed everybody.
Yeah.
I think
but I think that was more of the pure art. But when you interject these multi-billion, multi-country labels, these labels are all over the world. These labels, they love the art of hip hop. That's why you got battle rap, you got battle rap leagues, you got artists going out for beef. So it's calculated. They know this was going to raise sales. They know that the sales of rap music was down. It wasn't no number one albums. Now you got back-to-back number one albums, back-to-back number one singles, and they all beef tracks.
But but I take it on the flip side, this is also entertainment.
It's 10 albums, it's 10 songs in the top 10, and the beef rap got 7 on. Come on.
Okay, I hear
that.
Think about
we
that.
said rap was boring before that.
See, I know, I agree.
Before that, it was boring.
No, I agree.
We didn't want to hear that. They didn't want to hear what the youngsters had to say.
Yeah.
So they brought it back to lyrics and got everybody back engaged. And really, more so of it, the social media engagement.
Right.
Like literally, I felt like social media was like really bullying Drake. You go on TikTok, like every 3 TikToks is gonna be something about Drake.
Wow.
Somebody remaking it. A Mexican band, little girls talking about OV hoes. It's like continuous. So that's what makes it differently. And the monetization of social media is the only thing that makes it different. But hey, man, this is the essence of hip hop, man. I wish J. Cole would have stayed in there, man. I think J. Cole would have gave Kendrick a better battle, man.
Oh no, I think he did the wise thing, man. Like they say, when you see a dog barking at the moon, nobody says nothing. Yeah. But if you see the moon barking at the dog,
then the dog become famous. The dog.
Well, and another thing,
says, I am J. Cole. How about that?
I'm gonna do another one.
Get me one of them.
Another thing is you never mess with a heel Gemini.
Appreciate it, King Jab, the voice of the people.
I appreciate that one, my boy.
We're talking about the hip hop beef, the rap beef. I say that, yeah.
So I think that they have a responsibility, but also we have to meet people where they at too.
Yeah.
And you can't expect people to be something that they're not. And so a lot of times you're putting responsibility on people that's just not there. Like you're telling them, oh, you got to lead the people, but that's not, they really want to entertain, and that's where they at in life.
No, Mr. Risa said the term leader is thrown around too much and too loosely. Please define what leader means.
I think a leader is a person that people follow.
In the
true definition. Just no matter how you look at what they're leading people to.
Yeah.
But if they have people following them, then they're a leader. No matter how small that group is, it can be a leader of 2 people. Long as because there's a philosophy called the first follower.
Yeah.
Right. And the first follower is so important because the first follower is who helps make the big leader. Right. And so no matter, and a lot of time we discount leaders who have small followings, right? But the reality is, once you have one person follow, you can be the leader of your home, you can be the leader of your community, you can be the leader of your bus, you can be the leader of your job, you can be the leader of your city, You can be the lead, but you can lead on so many different levels.
No, I hear that, and when what's coming up for me is what King Jab just said. Social media has changed it, because if we using that definition, then everybody who's on social media is a leader, because everybody who's on social media has at least 1 or 2 followers.
And everybody has leadership in them. Leadership is just not the chosen one God sent down. Leadership comes from you, me. Leadership is like a recycling sign. It goes up, down, and around and comes back. And so, yes, those people are leaders.
Wow.
Yes. And that's hard to digest.
No, it's not hard to digest. It's just kind of scary.
No, it ain't. It ain't, because it was like that before. Because they had somebody that would follow them.
No,
whether it's a kid on the playground who pushing other kids down.
No, it's some people who have 10,000 followers that in real life nobody would follow.
I mean, that's subjective. That's subjective.
I don't think everybody who is a leader on social media would be a leader if it were not for social media.
I mean,
maybe,
the old school hustlers used to tell me,
not to the extent that they are leading or influencing.
I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna say it. I ain't gonna say what they used to tell me.
And I'm not necessarily. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. But there's different levels to this. Caller, introduce yourself.
It's What's on Your Mind Wednesday. What's on your mind?
Hey, my name is Charlie, and I'm in St. Pete, and I just wanted to say this. Sirhan killed Bobby Kennedy Jr. Mark David Chapman was the guy who killed John Lennon.
Okay, thank you
so much. I appreciate that.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you for that. Yes.
Keep us honest, man.
Yes, keep it straight. Hey, but like and that's why a lot of people say that social media is diluting leadership. Okay. Right, it's really decentralizing leadership, and that's what these new technologies and new things are supposed to do. They're supposed to disrupt the traditional way things are, and I hate to say it, a lot of these people are leaders and they're not accepting it.
Yeah,
and then so and with that come the responsibility that they ain't accepting.
No, but the thing is some of them, they don't have to accept it.
They don't.
And again, just because somebody
that's nowhere in the terms and conditions,
right?
No, and it's forced on people.
And just because I'm entertaining you, I'm not. They have separate lives. Mm-hmm. Like you don't see nothing outside of their lives. Like all I do is entertain you. Yeah. Right. And now, if you like my music, that's a different thing. Now, if I'm political, if I'm doing something else outside of my personal time, that's leading you somewhere else, just something different. But if I'm just giving you music, I'm entertaining you.
Right.
Now, and that's kind of where we put too much emphasis on, because people like their music. Everybody is not here to give you the good.
Yeah, but that's how life is. No matter how we want to fight against it, that's how. When you exalt somebody who's on top, the people who looking up to them follow them. Whether they're Swifties, no matter who,
the Beehive,
no matter what they get, and then whether you accept it or not.
But if you look at them,
you get what I'm saying? Whether you accept it or not, that's what they're doing.
They do, but if you look at some of them, do not talk about like their private lives too much. Mm-hmm. They don't lead you in. They don't tell. You'll get some of them that take their following
to follow the image,
and follow them and use it for good. And then there's some people who just use their music, and that's where it stops at.
Yeah.
And then now the people where it stop at, you get upset and be like, "Y'all are leaders."
But the music don't stop. What the music is the influence. Now they can choose to influence them in other ways, but what's inside of the music is the influence, and that's what the people follow, the words.
So how do you reconcile when you have people who are in their music leading people down a path that in their personal lives they not following?
Yeah, a lot of people don't write these songs, so that's the majority of these people. Some of these songs and stuff someone else wrote, and they're not going to
something like that too.
Recently. They're not going.
These songs are written by committees, and they tell you what to say. And what
Hot Red, Sexy Red. Yeah, all her music is written by men.
Yeah, wow.
See what I'm saying? So men are telling a woman what to say, who other women are now following. Okay. So now think about that. Now just think about how deep and what they call insidious that is.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
it's 4 or 5 men in here. And we write some of the most ratchetest and brown in my pink,
like,
and brown. Yeah,
go say that.
And it's a man.
But
it's a man that wrote that.
How do you, as a woman, look at that and be like, okay, I'm all right with saying that?
But they feeling it. It's bars.
Okay.
I'm not thinking about it's bars. This thing snapping. It's slap.
So that means they're complicit.
So some people like it, you know, and that's where they at.
It's all right.
So when writers go in there and write, they look at different scenarios and all this.
They look at the artist.
So the thing is, what she's rapping about ain't not real life. That's their life over there. Everybody don't agree with it, but it's a group of people.
So let me ask you this then, and I think that's when we talk about the responsibility.
I know.
I'm gonna keep talking like y'all ain't doing that.
We did.
So like y'all ain't doing that right now.
I gotta go, y'all.
So here's the thing. All right. Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. It's been.
I knew y'all understand.
Thoughts. But what
that was his final thoughts.
And I lost where I was at. I didn't want to lose that train. But it's gone.
Sorry,
I missed it.
Let's think.
It's all good. So the culture, I think, we have the pen. I think we have a responsibility as a community of people who want to see better, to start really uplifting the standards that we want to see, because that's the other part of it. And it's like this is where I was going with that. The corporations, they distribute the music. They determine what's getting put out, right? And shout out to Kanye when he did Jesus Walks, because they was like, remember in that song, he said, if I talk about God, my record won't get played.
Yeah.
Well, what he did was Jesus Walks, is he showed that there was an appetite for that type of music. Like, like people would listen to this music. That showed you, like, if you feed people that, people will embrace it and they'll take it. Like, that's. But
so you have to be, but you also have to be a Kanye West. You have to be a Beyonce.
You can't just be conscious and, trash. Because I've heard like conscious music that just ain't banging.
No, you could be conscious and dope. Yeah. But you're not that person. Kendrick had a lot of conscious music. Yeah. And a lot of people are not listening because he's not that artist.
But a lot of people are. That's the other part. It's like who defines who.
No, stats define who these people are.
Okay.
Like, let's call it real. Like, okay. He has a fan base, but he doesn't have Kanye fan base.
No.
If he was Kanye,
okay,
speaking this, his records will be platinum.
Okay.
But he's not Kanye.
You think they would distribute it? They'll push it out.
Because he's Kanye.
So they're not pushing it. They're not pushing it out and they're not promoting it.
And then you have to look at, like, it's strategic on how they do it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't come out. If you look at Kanye original music and all that other stuff, it wasn't as conscious.
Yeah. He always was on it, though.
He dropped little small ones, but he was more. I
always rock with Kanye's content, especially in the early days. Like, the things that he said in the early days, it was like, okay, yeah.
But he was creative.
And I heard him say.
But he also wasn't over little. He wasn't wordy.
Yeah, he wasn't like preachy with it.
No, but he was creative. So again, this was.
Go back and listen to some of that early Kanye.
No, you listen to it, but it was strategic.
Yeah,
and it also gave you a bop. You didn't give you that headache. Like, you caught the little small stuff, but it was really witty.
Yeah,
and fun.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. You can't give them all of that at the beginning because it stopped you right there. You gotta give people what they want so that you can give them what they need. Kanye didn't start out doing all of this stuff that he's doing now when he began, and just like even Beyonce.
Let me say this then. So you say give them what they want, so we can give them what they need. Is that maybe a silver lining with this beef deal? Because, like I said, I rock with Kendrick and a lot of the content that he put out and the messages that he put in. Do you think that people who didn't listen to Kendrick before would listen to him now after this beef?
I think what's going to happen is they're going to go and listen.
Okay.
But it's not going to stick.
You don't think he'll convert people?
No.
How about the other side? Like, people who don't listen to Drake, you think that they'll listen to Drake now?
Drake has the fan base.
No, but I mean, both of them have a fan base.
But I'm just
they have a fan base,
right? But
nobody has the fan base. They have a fan base. So do you think that people who are listening to Drake and they're fans of Drake, do you think that they'll listen to Kendrick now after this beef?
A little bit, but if that's not where they at, they're not going to stay. They will go just to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Because I'm not listening to Drake. I listened to the couple of songs, but it didn't make me like, okay, let me go see what other songs Drake got. It didn't do that for me.
It ain't gonna. You're not gonna go over and just like Drake fans.
Yeah, they're not gonna be like, okay, let me go see what else Kendrick got to say.
I mean, people who may be listening for conscious music, he may be added some fans over there.
Okay,
who didn't. But as far as him getting all the Drake fans, no,
nobody's gonna get all of anybody.
I'm just saying, I think it's gonna kind of stay pretty even at where it's at. Drake is still gonna be right here, and Kendrick, and unfortunately, I'm not knocking Kendrick, because Kendrick has a fan base, but his fan base will never be Drake's.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, and vice versa, because I don't think I'll ever be a Drake fan.
And see, I done been like, I will go to a Kendrick Lamar concert, and I also go to Drake concert.
Yeah,
I like music,
and I like his performances and what he did. Like when he did, what was that, the Super Bowl when they brought him out? Did he come out with Beyonce? Like it's just he always giving you something, that you gotta, like you said, you have to rewind it and review it and
most people don't want to rewind and review and think about it and then go look it up and figure out what he's saying. Oh, that's what he said. A lot of people
do that with Jay-Z though.
No, he said something witty.
Okay.
And you caught it and then you rewind it because you like what he said.
Okay. Like you do that with Kendrick. That's just me.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, like, don't roll your eyes because I like Kendrick Lamar.
I'm not saying. But it's a different rewind.
It is.
It's a different rewind. With Jay-Z, they caught it and just want to replay it. With Kendrick, you had to rewind because you didn't catch it.
Yeah. I think, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like you trying to, okay, wait, where was he going? So you got to rewind so you can catch it. With Jay-Z, you're rewinding because you caught it and it was witty. Most of it is not some, but most of it you didn't catch it. So you had to rewind it so you can. Jay-Z,
I'm going to find some things that I had to rewind and then bring them in and we can talk about it. So listen, y'all, this has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We had a real robust conversation this morning, y'all. So if you missed the first part of it, y'all go back and check it out. We were talking about internalized oppression. We talked about emotional intelligence. We gave you some headline news. What's on your mind Wednesday, and a lot of stuff in store, man. So y'all just stay tuned, stay tapped in, continue to pay attention. Don't cost you nothing if you do, but it can cost you everything if you don't.
So, Mrs. Peanuts, it's not that I'm not a Kendrick fan.
Okay.
Let me clear that up. Because I have Kendrick album on. I got Drake album and I got Kendrick album before the beat.
Oh, Miss Teresa, fan base or not, Kendrick has 16 Grammys and Drake has 5. Just saying. Okay, I didn't know that.
But see, Grant, we'll talk about this.
You talked about stats. That's a stat.
That is a stat.
We'll put a pin in that one, but you did mention stats.
But look,
that's a stat.
That is a stat. But we'll talk about
this.
That's
a 3 times up stat too.
It is. But you know how many people got Grammys that you don't even know?
Yeah, I do.
It's a lot of them.
But we know these two, and if you measuring stats, he got the most in that one.
So we'll talk about this.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
See what this hip hop beef do?
Yes. So be the change you want to be and see.
Yeah.
Write down those 5 things.
Please.
And And stay tuned for Sister Hill.
Make you lose your shoes and shout all around the house, man. This has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
And this is Kiana.
And we out. Believe and do good.
WUJM, St. Petersburg. 99 Gems. The Berg.
Right now.
Peace and light. This is your brother John, and I would like to invite you to tune in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jams every Monday and Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the latest in pop culture news and unique perspectives on hot topics. Make sure you tune in and start your day off right with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99.1 FM, 99 Jams.
Gospel lovers, are you ready for some church? The Angels Gospel Show is back with a bang. Bringing to you gospel with live interviews, scriptures, inspirational topics, inspirational events, and hot gospel music of all types. Coming to you live from the studio of 99.1 every Sunday from 12 to 2 p.m. Listen also live on TuneIn Radio app and at reggaespin.net. The Angels Gospel Show. 2 hours of the Angel and you. You can't afford to miss it. I am your host, Angel. 99 Jams, the ball.
Total Praise. That's right. Total Praise broadcasting live each and every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. Fridays, 9 to 10:30 a.m. Sundays, 7 to 9 a.m. Your radio gospel angel.
Hi, this is Sister Hughes of Total Praise on WUJM, giving you the best gospel. I make you lose your shoes, shout all around in the house.
That's right. Your host, Sister Diane Hughes, right here on 99 Jams, your radio gospel angel, here on 99 Jams, the Bird.
This is Cara Festa Radio. 99 Jams, the Berg.